Hey there. I tried to make a video last week about goals, and I started it while baking banana bread and quickly realized my attention could only remain on the banana bread. So I'm back. I just wanted to have a quick chat with you. So it's February now. This is like the time of year when we start to realize that maybe the goals we set for the new year aren't entirely achievable for us, aren't working for us. I don't sit down and write goals. I have like dreams in my mind of what I hope can happen, hope can work out. And maybe this will bother some people, but the goals I do have don't have a ton of structure. This is largely a reading and writing channel, usually where I discuss books I've read and how they've affected me. But given that, I feel like I don't/cannot read as much as booktubers, like booktubers read. So even though I am trying to talk about books and that means I have to read those books, I'm not super motivated with like a huge book goal. I don't truly have a TBR. I have a tentative TBR. So I just want to talk about some of my goals, my like in-between goal, hopes, wishes, and how I have those vaguely in my mind and how I still try to be productive because it's kind of hard. So this is not a clinical diagnosis, but I suspect I have ADHD. There were just some things about the way I work and function and focus or don't focus or focus too much. Simply can't regulate my focus and attention. It makes me realize, oh, hey, this is a possibility. Some things that get in the way of my goal setting and the things that I want to do and achieve are fear of rejection, especially when a goal involves somebody else or requires me to put myself out there. That can be scary, especially when I owe somebody else my work or I'm under someone else's supervision. That's super hard, super scary. I struggle to complete the smaller, broken apart goals that I write down for myself. It's very black or white. Like if I say I'm gonna read 50 pages these days of the week, if I don't read 50 pages or if I feel like I can't get to the 50-page mark, my mentality is why do it anyway, right? I get very much in my head about the things I want to do. So other than reading and writing, I'm trying to learn to play the mandolin, and there's some days where I'll listen to music and I'll realize that I'm not there yet with the pros, and so I just don't want to do it at all. It's dumb, but it can be overwhelming because when you go to play the instrument, you go to write or draw or be creative, and you're not there yet. You don't have the chops. You have the inspiration. You have good taste, but your skill doesn't match your taste, and so it can be really frustrating. I have another bad habit, which is that I have a tendency to put a lot of my goals and the things that I should be doing on future me's shoulders. Future me, I've come to understand, she does not exist. This is a person that it's not necessarily I think of her as an actual person, but I do recognize that when I go to do something, or I say, not right now, I'll take care of it later, later me becomes present me, and present me is very stressed that I haven't done what I need to do. So there's that trick, the 5-minute rule, where like, okay, I need to clean my room or my car or make food or read, or I'd rather not be scrolling on my phone. I should be writing, I should be practicing, instead of being like, oh, I have to write for a couple hours. Instead, I'm like, why don't you just look at that one paragraph you were working on and go from there? Or why don't you clean a little bit, 5 minutes worth of your room? And either that can like lead into intense hyper focus where that's all I do for several hours, but sometimes that's what that time is set up for. I give myself a big cushion, but I tell myself I only need to do this much. And so I have all this time and I'm not rushed, and I can just get really into it. You have to kind of trick yourself, I think, with these things. And the reason I'm talking about this stuff and trying to help future me out a little bit more is because you don't have to do everything. Your goals are not black or white. The point of a goal, in my opinion, is progress, not the goal itself, usually. Because if you're looking at each step and you're finding little successes and recognizing your growth, it can really help in feeling right about that thing and not giving up too soon. There are some things that are just really hard to pick up and to dive into, but I think it's safe to recognize like that popular TikTok that's going around, that audio that's basically, we can start like spreading the idea that you don't have to be a pro at your hobbies. I was given this like idea that I had to be a master and I had to impress my teachers and other adults with how good I am at a thing right away. But I would stress that through all these tricks or habits you have to make, that you try to find a love or at least an appreciation for it. Because when I'm doing something where the chops are difficult, or I'm really bad at like, let's say I'm really bad like at an action scene and I'm struggling hard with it, I don't love it in that moment. But I love to see that word count at the end of the day. I love to have like set that up for myself, that it doesn't so much matter that I did a good job today, it's that I did the work today so that tomorrow me has a bit of an easier time. I think in one of his lectures, Brandon Sanderson said that like when asked, why should you write? Why should you do this thing? And he talks a lot about, is it good for you? And if it's good for you, then you should go for it. And you should make a habit out of it because it makes you feel good and it strengthens you, gives you a hobby and a skill set that you wouldn't have otherwise. Whereas I find sometimes I do a thing because I'm good at it and not because I love it. And just because you're passionate about something and you love something with all your heart doesn't necessarily mean that you would do it under any conditions either, because I have studied things I've loved under frustrating and toxic conditions, and that's not okay. Take care of yourself, you know? If writing on a napkin with half of a broken pencil doesn't make you passionate or doesn't make you feel good about writing, that doesn't mean that you're not meant to be a writer. If you have other tools to use them. Take advantage of it. Make yourself a cup of tea or get yourself an energy drink and sit down at your desk and set the lighting for how you want. Turn on your favorite music or an ambiance and write, read, and practice and work on your thing, because it's okay to set yourself up for some level of comfort so that when things get uncomfortable, you have that cushion a little bit. It's okay to give yourself that. It's okay to make it a comfortable thing. It doesn't have to be a painful, tough, frustrating, angering experience. It can just be you making art. So that's my quick video. I think in the next little while, I'm going to be talking about the Hunger Games series that I just reread after a while of not rereading them, and reading my old writing. When we talk about progress, that'll be really fun. I got a lot of chapter 1s to share. And until then, I'm going to be working on stuff. There are going to be days where all I do and all I want to do are play Twilight Princess, and that's okay. Just know that I'm excited for you to do your stuff and to find moments of progress. As the musical nomads of Avatar: The Last Airbender say, it's less about the where and more about the going. So let's enjoy the going, because the where is over in like a split second, but the going is real and special, and I'm excited. So thanks for watching. I will see you next time.